Many NBA fans have looked at this image and called it the product of recency bias. Others straight up called it blasphemy. And maybe they're right. After all, 2014 LeBron was a monster.
LeBron James. Another three for James. He's 7 of 7. So LeBron James, 7 of 7. Can he do it again? Yes! Makes his second three of the game. Chalmers for three. LeBron! Oh my! A grand slam on the offensive board for LeBron James.
But 2025 Nikola Jokic was more than just numbers. It was dominance with finesse at its finest.
Julian cheated way in.
Jokic going to throw it up from way.
Got it! Oh my! Nikola Jokic!
Jokic to Gordon. And a 360 spin. Woo!
However, the truth is when seasons like these are placed side by side, the comparison is not about disrespect. It is about understanding how greatness evolves. And today, we're going to dive into that evolution no matter how much LeBron fans might not like it. At 29, LeBron James was a force of nature sweeping through the league. That year, he averaged 27.1 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 6.3 assists while shooting 56.7% from the field. For a high-usage forward operating in a more compact physical era, that efficiency was staggering. Miami relied on him to initiate offense, finish possessions, and close games, often within the same stretch of play. And more often than not, he delivered.
LeBron scoots in. LeBron over Jefferson.
That night against Charlotte captured the essence of LeBron. The scoring bursts were overwhelming, and the pressure unmistakable. This was dominance through force, timing, and inevitability. This is what the King did. But the Joker in 2025 was just a different beast, averaging 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 10.2 assists, becoming the first center in league history to average a triple-double across an entire season. And he did all that while shooting over 57.6% from the field and more than 41% from three, not on token attempts, but on real volume. On April Fool's Day in 2025, the Joker made history, a 61-point triple-double that featured plays like this.
Wants it at three. Rebound Jokic. Gobert there behind the back. Sneaking well and vice versa. Westbrook, Jokic from 15, fouled, count it, to the line.
Now it is fair to acknowledge era differences. LeBron operated in a league with tighter spacing, heavier physicality, and defenses designed to load up against super teams. Jokic plays in a faster, more open environment shaped by analytics and shooting. But that context does not explain why no other center in any era has ever produced a season like this. The spacing did not create the vision. The vision created the spacing. 2025 Nikola Jokic so mastered the game that scoring, rebounding, playmaking, and efficiency were never competing priorities. They were parts of the same decision tree. LeBron's age 29 season represented the height of athletic command. Jokic's represented total control that looked too easy. And that difference is something that angers big LeBron fans. But let's take a look at team context since we don't want to dwell on the numbers. You see, LeBron's 2013-14 season lived under a microscope. Miami was not simply a contender, it was the symbol of something many NBA legends have spoken against, something that they blame for the NBA's CBA rules.
You know, I don't like any guys who join super teams, and LeBron's amazing and spectacular, but I was like, Michael didn't join anybody. He just kept getting his ass kicked and got bigger and got stronger and finally knocked the wall down.
Many NBA fans consider LeBron's move to Miami an admission of failure that he couldn't do what Michael Jordan did in Chicago. Besides that, it cannot be denied that playing alongside Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh definitely helped his numbers just as it helped him get a ring. But Nikola Jokic did it by being an effective machine that powered the Nuggets offense in a Western Conference deep with young teams, international stars, and no obvious weak links. Denver really put their faith in a fat boy, and the fat boy called it.
They believe in the fat boy, and it seems like it worked out. Yeah, don't bet against the fat boy.
At age 29, both LeBron and Jokic were incredible, but it wasn't enough for either of them to win the MVP. But there's little doubt that Kevin Durant had a better season than LeBron. However, this was not the case with Jokic when SGA won it last year, and we're not even talking about numbers only. People who weren't fans of Jokic but who watched his games were straight up saying this.
Someone in a front office said this to me at Summer League, and I just hadn't heard it verbalized like this. I think Jokic might be the best offensive player in the history of the NBA.
Well, he might be the best player in the history of the NBA. Here.
That's how much the Joker carried the weight of his team. But what about the pressure to win? Who handled that better at age 29? Although both players did not win the championship in 2014 and 2025 respectively, it's worth noting how well they led their team during the playoffs. At 29, LeBron had already lived inside that reality for years, so by 2014, he was no longer learning how to handle pressure, he was managing it. The Heat's playoff run was not just about advancing, it was about sustaining an era that everyone else wanted to end. LeBron was explosive when he needed to be, patient when the moment required restraint, and decisive when the margins collapsed. His leadership showed up in takeovers and in crunch time.
Anthony. LeBron works behind it. He'll put up a wild shot. Oh, please! Unbelievable!
However, Jokic's playoff leadership was different. It does not announce itself, only reveals itself over time, often after the damage is done. NBA legend Greg Popovich said this.
Jokic, he's too damn good. It's not fair, all the things he can do. And, you know, he's so funny. I love the guy. He doesn't look like he's doing anything. You know, he's not going fast. He's not jumping high. You know, it's kind of Larry Birdish, you know, in a way. But talk about skills and anticipation and decisions. He's fantastic. Great hands, scores in every which way, involves all his teammates. So, you know, he's the head of the snake for sure.
Popovich's description captures why Jokic is so difficult to deal with in postseason settings. Nothing looks urgent or forced, but that lack of speed, explosion, or any visible strain all work against opponents who are desperate for disruption. Jokic empowers teammates by making the correct play so often that confidence becomes contagious. Even in elimination environments, the offense does not tighten, it expands. LeBron's playoff leadership at 29 was defined by force, accountability, and visible control. Both work, and it's why they're both great. But because of their different paths, their legacies will be remembered differently. That image with LeBron and Jokic's stats at age 29 side by side was probably made by a Joker fan, but the difference in their legacies is the origin of such comparisons. The fact is, by age 29, both LeBron James and Nikola Jokic had reached a point where recognition was no longer about validation. It was about something more than themselves. LeBron talked about this, calling it the grace of all the greats.
MVPs, all the playoff battles, all
the
that.
utmost respect.
Yeah.
I mean, for the grace of the game, for the grace of today, for me, for the grace of the past, for the grace that come, you know, after. Jokic is one of the greatest players to ever play this game, and you know, for me to see him go over and just pay my respect, that's easy.
Ultimately, there's nothing more to prove between them. They're both legends who impacted the game in different ways. So different that it seems almost like opposites. LeBron James came into the league already crowned as the king. He dominated with force and skill and had won MVPs, but to win a ring, he had to form a super team. And he did all that before 29. Nikola Jokic came into the league as a nobody. Then he became the Joker through his IQ and efficiency. Then he won MVPs and a ring by making those around him better. Right now, they're both superstars and NBA champions with multiple MVPs. And while the fans might be divided, the King and the Joker are good, be it on the court.
Now just going to get this very nice round number. The respect between the two MVPs and two champions.
From downtown. He is the Joker.
Or off of it.
Just two starters left up here. LeBron. You already know.
At the age of 29, LeBron James represented the peak of athletic mastery. He carried expectation, shouldered scrutiny, and sustained dominance in a more physical era. Meanwhile, Nikola Jokic, at the same age, showed something different. A season built on patience, IQ, and vision. He did not overpower the league. He solved it. Placed side by side, we're shown that greatness evolves, not that someone is better than someone. In fact, if big LeBron fans are angry about last year, well, it's about to get worse this year. So there really is no point being angry at the best basketball player in the league right now. Now, Nikola Jokic just came off injury, his first major injury at that, and I think he deserves the Wemby treatment the Spurs are doing. Find out what that is next.